Now then, let's see what exactly they have to offer me here. There was mention that I was welcome to most things we had available, but I don't know if that means I'm welcome to just take whatever I like. Mercer's busy with his paperwork, it looks like. The others are busy. Well, don't mind if I do. Quite the little assortment. I'll happily take all of that, thank you. Continue on with that. Yes, just go about your business. Thankfully, this fog does a wonder at hiding my movements. Careful, careful. Don't mind me. Just stay busy with your work. Don't mind as I examine a few things. This blackberry mead looks intriguing. Berry flavored, I would suppose. Looks like blackberry by the hue. Perhaps blueberry. That may be actually a bit different. They're still quite busy. Fantastic, let's just... Right then. While they chat about, I'm going to go see if they have anything else worth taking. Couple things here and there. I'll have a conversation with each of them as well later. Well, hello. A training room of sorts by the looks of it. What all is in here? Don't mind me, sir. You stay nice and focused on your training. Actually, that beehive husk would probably be relatively useful. Good, since there's nothing in that other one. Don't mind me. Nothing of use. Interesting book. Haven't actually read this one. Tricky. I am not a writer. I am a thief. I am a good thief. I am not such a good writer. Well, clearly, if you're starting a book like that. Anyway, I want to write about picking locks. I read a book about designing locks once. It was good. It gave me lots of ideas. Some guys make locks with angled keyholes. Always carry a bent lockpick. They will work well in these... He says work good in these locks. Clearly, English is not your preferred language either. I do, and I open lots of locks. Sometimes I carry copper lockpicks. Copper bends easily. That way I can bend it right there. Copper lockpicks break easy too, be careful. Sometimes the locks have weird springs. They all spring differently, which makes picking it hard. I hold my torch close to the lock. This makes it hot. What? When it's hot, the springs are all the same. They don't bounce so differently anymore. Interesting. Didn't actually know that one. Careful not to burn yourself. Some thieves can't read. If you can't read, get someone to read this book to you. It will make more sense then. I will ignore the obvious issue with that. Slaughterfish scales. Don't mind me, is that...
What are you doing that for?
I'm more confused on how it fell so slowly, honestly. How about you just... book that defies gravity? Just linger there for a moment, shall we? Okay. Don't mind me. Yes. It's odd how little they care about me doing this. I won't oppose, but, perhaps it's just how things work around here. If you want to acquire some things, you're welcome to take them as long as you make the guild gold. They are rather desperate and appear to be relying on me relatively. I thought that was... Well, anyway. For some reason, I thought this was, something of use. It was not. Thought it might be a map, which I'm sorely lacking. I've lost my train of thought. Well, I didn't mean to do that. Perhaps I was subconsciously going for the wine up there. That would make sense, I suppose. Let's give them that back, shall we? Now then. And I suppose... Oh, what's the harm? Right then, you're not even hitting the targets, but do what you wish. I suppose that's what training is for. This is the Thieves Guild and not the Warriors Guild, I suppose. Extra armor and gloves and a hood now as well. And an outright extra suit of armor itself. Well now, that's actually quite useful. Let's see here. Oh, good on you. You finally hit him. Well done. Idiot. Inigo, you may have a new outfit momentarily. Can't have you wandering around in that for much longer. Though I would prefer to give you... It would seem I'm a bit hungry. We'll eat in a moment. I would rather give you heavy armor, though. If we can locate some steel, that would be... Well done. I'll give you a light clap. And back at swinging at the air he goes. Good lord. Well, arrows are always nice. Happily take all of that. Quite happy that I've gotten this bag. It makes things much easier. I think you actually managed that in less than 5 swings this time. That is 20 swings now. $40 now. Right, I'm done. I was curious how many exactly it would take him, but that's actually pathetic. That was probably what, 50? I am most assuredly not taking you on any adventures whatsoever anywhere. Just so we're clear. Right then. Stale bread, clothing, and ironing it, some ingredients. I'll have to see about an alchemist nearby. I really should brush up on my other skills beyond the subterfuge. This is interesting. Layout of chests. Taking a look into the locks, each one is slightly different. Some have springs, some are angled. A training room, perhaps? Well, training is usually given incentives. Let's see what they're offering, shall we? There we are. I really am getting better at that. I lost my... Oh, well, look at this. These chests are practice use only. Please refrain from using them for storage. The locks on these chests have been specifically constructed to reset themselves after a short amount of time. How nifty. If you have any issues, please speak to Neruin? Neruin. Well, I'm glad my assumption was correct. Let's see, let's try this one now. No, yes, there we are. That actually looks quite useful. It's much better than mine. I won't be going in any truly cold areas, but Skyrim in general is quite the harsh landscape. Oh, very well. We'll take it all. There's no harm to it. Now this one. Let's see here. Oh, well, I suppose that pick lasted me a bit. Rapidly realizing that I'm not shaking off as much rust as I thought I was. There we are. Well, that's enough for 2 or 3 lockpicks, I suppose. Now, these two are going to be a very different story. Inigo, I don't want to hear any sly, sarcastic remarks regarding the fact that I'm going to be breaking plenty of lockpicks. Understand? Why do I bother? Right then. Oh, well done. Oh. Well, that didn't work too well, now did it? Let's try again, shall we? No. 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 Almost. Right then. Perfect. I only lost 1 or 2. 3? 3. That might have been 3. I don't pay attention to these things. Look at all the shiny things in here. I don't actually recognize that enchantment. The runes are odd in their engravings. Something new to learn, it would seem. This one as well. Fantastic. Some gold and gemstones. That was well worth it. I wonder what's in this one. Only one way to find out. I feel like this one's going to be much different. Right. Try the key points first. Good lord. Oh, good thing I bought quite the supply, and this will be good for shaking off the rust. Oh, almost. I always try to target the 5 key points first. Usually the tumblers are around there. Oh, fantastic. Well now. I am quite surprised, in all honesty. Not all of this is worth much, but this is quite a bit to encourage some training. Inigo, I do believe I've found you a few things. Right then, we'll just take all that. Oh, it's quite heavy. Oh, my poor pack. Alright, Inigo.
What do you need?
I have some things to trade for you.
Okay, let's do this quickly and quietly.
Works well with me. Now then, let's see. I've given you only the shield, I believe, thus far. Let's see. As much as I'd like to give you this armor, I think I'm going to be breaking it down, unfortunately. Now, the shield, I believe, is not as good as yours. Yours is slightly better. But you don't have a helmet. Oh. Oh dear. Well, there are worse things for you to be wearing. Just don't let anybody grab the horns and yank you by them, I suppose. Oh dear. Oh, yes. It looks great on you, my friend. Oh, boy. And let us see here. Should I give you... I suppose there's no harm in it. What do you think of clubs and blunt weapons, Inigo? Do you even have a preference in weaponry, really? I somehow doubt it. It's decently balanced. I don't see why not. Let's see, what are you using at the moment? A simple steel blade. Very well, yes. Here, use that, will you? And I will take that back.
Right behind you.
I'll see about getting you some proper armor after we get back to the surface. Right then. Let's see what else this place has to offer, shall we? Go for a bit of a walk. The alchemy desk is there. I suppose I could use this one if need be. I'll go to the apothecary first, though. It will likely have better options. And I am a bit peckish and a bit thirsty. I suppose there's no harm in partaking of their meal. It is just laying out here for guild members, after all. Oh, why not? Let's have some bread, some cooked meat. I would rather not go near that square chunk of meat, if I can help it. Some wine. I can't have too much of this, though. Really can't have myself getting drunk. So we'll just sip the wine a little bit. Always hits the spot. Enjoy the cooked beef. Enjoy the bread. Drink some of the water I've gathered. Perfect. Much better. I really should refill my water now as well, though. One more thing to add to the to-do list. Let's finish exploring first, however. Oh, the shadow marks. This is essentially the marks used by the Thieves Guild to mark certain areas with different meanings so that you know ahead of time. My knowledge has gotten extremely rusty. It would be nice to have this as a glossary. Fantastic, it does. It has all of them. Wonderful. I'll make sure to keep that on my person. It'll take me quite a bit of time to rememorize everything. Good evening, Mercer. Evening? Morning? It's one of those two things. And that looks suspiciously like a vault. Now, if I was a loyal member of this guild, I would certainly be a bit more courteous, but frankly, they're on their last legs, and I'm just a standard member of the guild. If it starts rising back up to glory, as it were, then perhaps my tune will change. But for now, I don't particularly care. Good evening. Yes, just turn back around. Thank you. I will happily take all of that. Don't mind me. Just practicing my stealth a bit. Yes, hello. Right then. Lean over a bit so I can actually reach it. more lockpicks to make up those I've left. The Thief of Virtue. I must say, this sounds a bit like a thief that perhaps took the virginity of a princess. It can never hurt to take more wine. Don't mind me. Just exploring the guild house a bit. I wonder if the fact the guild isn't doing so well is what led to this neutrality in regards to newcomers just taking whatever may be about. Seems possible. Don't mind me. What is that? That looks suspiciously like a back door. Where does this go? Because it could easily just be a secondary entrance as well. This doesn't seem like a sewer exit. Where is this? Oh, now that's just clever. The graveyard is what houses the Thieves Guild's secondary entrance. How quaint. Well, I'm not quite done, but that is duly noted.
Written is really smelly, don't you think? In a good way.
I don't know if there's a good way to be smelly, Inigo, but it does smell like money, which is nice. Watch your head. I know I just gave you that nice helmet, but let's not put a big dent in it. Nice helmet. Oh, you poor cat. Right then. Let's poke around a bit more. Don't mind me, fellows. Just going to grab a few more things.
All right. I have everything you asked for all ready to go.
I hope this deal goes through. I'm putting quite a bit of coin on the line, and the last two you set up fell through.
Right
I don't
then.
understand it either. They were a sure thing, I swear.
You just better hope this one isn't another
Well,
waste of
they're
time.
clearly busy. I'm also getting quite tired. I have been up for quite a while,
The name of oblivion is going on in this place.
and honestly, I've been working and pushing myself quite a bit, all things considered. It's a bit frustrating how low my energy is.
You're welcome to join me.
It's good to know that they all notice that things are going a bit awry. Right. They wanted me to speak to Vex and Delvin, I believe were their names. But honestly, I'd like to sleep before all else, I think. Let's head back up to the inn, enjoy a meal, take a good night's rest, gather some more information, talk to Delvin and Vex, perhaps practice a bit on my alchemy and find an apothecary, and get you better armed, and perhaps improve my own equipment a bit as well. And then we can go from there. Perhaps we'll go explore this mercenary covered camp that has been denying us our fair dues. Assuming I'm not distracted by a better option, at least. Right then, off we go. Right then, hello Kirava. No hard feelings, I hope.
Oh, it's you again. What in blazes do you want?
Oh, calm down, I'm here to spend money, that's all you care about, right? I'd like to rent that room again, that's all.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day.
Fantastic, thank you. And I'd like something for breakfast as well.
Sate that appetite,
Well, hopefully. grated bread, wine, and a couple apples, perhaps? Although fruit tea does sound quite nice. So does tea, though. Alright, I'll have some tea before bed. And for breakfast... Perhaps I'll have that bread along with... Oh, a snowberry croissanta. Oh, let's splurge a bit. That and a sweet roll. I'm sure I'm going to need something heavier, though, as well. Something sweet. Oh, apple dumplings sound marvelous. We'll do that. Right then. I even paid for it this time.
I'll show you to your room. Right this way.
Really, there's no need, ma'am. I'm afraid I most assuredly know exactly where it is. I really do need to find my own place. Though buying one is going to take quite a bit of funding, let alone furnishing it and filling it with food as required. Small steps, I suppose. Right then. Time to enjoy a meal and take a nice, much required... Really, I know it's protocol and it's the rule of your inn, but this is not required, Kirava.
Let me know if there's anything else you need.
You to stop doing this every time, perhaps? And to get out of the room. Thank you. Right then. Have something to drink before bed. Enjoy that tea, I suppose. Actually, even better. Some wine before bed. Although, I did want to try this. Perhaps I'll like it more than the standard mead these Nords are so fond of. I say these Nords when I'm part of them. Well, I'm only half, it doesn't count. Right then, let's try a bit, shall we? Actually, that's not that bad. And I'm feeling quite tired. Perhaps that alcohol is wearing on my system a bit. Right then. Good night, Inigo. Tomorrow we'll see about getting you properly armed. And perhaps out of that helmet. Right then. Well, I'm definitely peckish now. Let's enjoy.
Get off your lazy tail and take care of the customer.
Oh,
Keep your scales
do
on.
be quiet. I'm going to enjoy my meal. Let's see. Yes, I think that green tea, as well as some of those apple dumplings, that bread, which was absolutely fantastic, and perhaps I'll save the crostata and the sweet roll for later. It's not as though sweet things go bad quickly. I think that might be a decent snack later on today. Right then. Now, I do believe...
You want a drink?
No.
Just get out of here.
I'm working on it, you lizard fool. Not exactly a racist, but if you're gonna be a damn idiot, I'm definitely going to call you out on it. Pull the feathers out of your head. Now then, the insanity aside, let's go see a... Well, I'm glad you're finally eating. Let's go see about selling a few things and getting properly armed. Hello, Balamant.
Come to see the finest weapons and armor.
Let's see what you have, shall we? Now, I want to sell quite a bit of this. I don't need any of that. Or this, that. The silver might come in handy, though. The steel will most likely come in handy. I don't need these. I'm going to be keeping the thieves' armor. I might be giving it to someone else later, after all. Ugh, far too brutish weapon for my taste. The bow might be useful, we'll see. The fact I can't enhance it, however, is likely a problem. My skills have diluted far too much. I only ever used steel. I did have a single sky-forged dagger, but that was the extent of it. I will keep the arrows, however, those are quite useful. Ebony ore, I will be keeping, that's quite rare. Gold ore, same, I believe I can even give that to the other lizard. Corrosium ore, I believe I can use to create steel, if I recall correctly. I certainly don't need those ugly things. Right then. I do believe that will be enough for now. Now, let's see.
Nothing but genuine fire salts will do. The forge knows the difference.
Yes, your damn fire salts. I suppose I should make that a relatively high priority if I'm going to be assisting you. That corpse is still there. Why am I not surprised that a guard hasn't even bothered to throw it away? Alright, let's go and try to learn some of these new enchantments that we've gathered now. Right then. I'm going to use your table again, madam. Don't mind me. Why do I feel like your tail knocked that over? Whatever. Right, let's dispel a few of these, shall we? I don't know how many of these will be used, but they're all quite good to know, especially if I wish to make things later to sell. That can be quite a lucrative business. And only one of those was extremely difficult. How perfect. Now, it might be worth stopping by here later. Good evening, ma'am. Do you happen to have any ingredients? No, doesn't seem as such. Just scrolls and tomes. And though I do enjoy magic, they are not key to my...
Now where did I put those spiders?
Well, hopefully you find them quickly. Though I do enjoy magic, it is not exactly my focus. Something at a later date, perhaps. While I'm here, I suppose I might as well introduce myself to her ladyship.
Welcome to Riften, traveler. I hope the road fared well for you.
Oh, you really aren't up to date on anything in your city, are you? Well, in that case, good evening, my Jarl. In that case, I wonder who's pulling the strings. Might you know, my dear?
Welcome to Mistvale Keep. I'm Jarl Layla's steward, Anuriel.
Of course you are. And what exactly do you do around here?
As steward, I serve as an intermediary between the Jarl and her subjects.
Hmm.
I also handle the less important and day-to-day policies that affect daily life in Riften. Lately, I've had my hands full suppressing these ridiculous accusations of corruption in the keep.
Oh, I'm sure. What are the rumors of corruption you mentioned, by chance?
There are those that believe the Jarl does nothing for this city, that it's corrupt and run by the Blackbriar family. I can assure you that this is entirely false. We are fully in control of everything.
Oh, I bet you are. Right then. Well.
You're welcome in Riften, as long as you continue to obey our laws.
Yes, of course. Now, clearly, she is not the one to talk to in regards to the skooma, and perhaps the Blackbriars don't even wish for that problem to be solved, as it were. For now, let's just continue on. Have a drink as I walk, though. It's amazing how parched you get after having something alcoholic the night before, even if I didn't exactly get drunk. Right then, on to the next. There has to be... I feel like I passed something. Saw a sign. It's been a bit. I get so easily distracted. That I'm sure after a bit of wandering about I'll find one. Almost every town has an apothecary after all. Now where on earth did I see that? Ah. There it is. I knew I saw something out of the corner of my eye. Down here. I suppose it actually does make sense. Salt water is an excellent solution base for many potions, and many herbs and mushrooms like the moisture. Gods, I hope they don't live here, though. It'd be absolutely horrid. What does that one mean? Let's find out, shall we? Makes me glad I kept that book. And this is a set of squares within another set. Loot. Well, I could have told you that. It's an apothecary. There's plenty of rare ingredients, I'm sure. Still.
Kind of busy, but if you need any potions or ingredients, let me know.
Busy eating, I suppose, is what you're referencing? Interesting. This would definitely be a place to come through later. Perhaps it'll be another late night for me. Yes, I was just making sure I knew exactly where everything was. Don't mind me. Now then, that solves that question. The next one is in regards to forging. So, let's see if we can get you properly armed, shall we? And shake the rust off my own skills. Right then. First, let's work on those hides that we gathered. I could actually add a few things to my... Well, for now, let's work on the leather. Let's see. If I ever go out somewhere seriously traveling, I'll need to look into tents. But for now, I'm going to focus on more manageable things. Specifically, working to upgrade... God, they never shut up, do they? Now, let's see. It's been quite a long time, but I do feel as though I can recall some basics. Right, then let's get to work, shall we? See how far along my skills have truly rusted. Well now, it wasn't exactly the original intent, but I did make some fine jewelry, I made some armor, I shook off the rust a bit, I sold it all back to him, he seemed happy to take it even if it was relatively apprentice level work, and I ended up giving you an extra set of my own armor instead. For now it will do. You don't get the hood, though. Mine's much more dashing. Now then, the next step on all this, I should go and sell the jewelry that I made, I suppose. As well, I suppose I can give him that piece of gold ore that he was after. Madesi, do you have a moment?
Greetings, honored friend. Could I interest you in some fine jewelry?
Of course, but first, I have a chunk of gold ore for you.
Perfect. Melting this down will give me plenty of gold for those necklaces I started.
Necklaces. Well, either way,
Just what you see here.
let's see what you have for sale, and I will offer some of my own creations in return. I have no need for this. And here's a ring I've made, as well as a few necklaces. Glad that you're willing to take them.
Safe travels, Landstrider.
Indeed. Thank you very much. Now then, the next part of my little trip here, I suppose I need to, well, get ready for a little bit of a, not quite a trip, but I need to acquire a map, and I need to, well, eat lunch, I suppose. I was at that for quite a while. Right then. Let's have a meal, shall we, Inigo? And perhaps I'll buy a map from the Pond Prawn, and then we'll go on our first exit and foray into the wilds, as it were. We have a mission to do, after all. Hello, everyone, and thank you for watching. If you'd like to see future content, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification icon. If you'd like access to bonus content, such as special privileges on my personal Discord, extra information on my stories and world building, or perhaps simply wish to support my work here, please consider becoming one of my patrons on Patreon. Thank you for all your time, and I can't wait to see you in the next chapter of our story.